Bitch!
Hey! Unimaginary Friendcast.
Oh no, wait, we have to stop. We're a minute late. Forget it. Everybody go home. Bye. Bye. Sorry, bye.
Well, how about I start the intro over for our podcast listeners?
All right, go ahead.
Live stream audience, David.
All right, don't look at me. Go ahead. Ready, go.
Welcome to the Unimaginary Friendcast. This is episode number 254. This is a conversation with your socially distanced best friends. We are your best friends.
I am Nathan Vaughn Edmondson.
I am Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr.
And I am, what's my name?
DavidMonster.com. And tonight, David's going to be posing some of life's most frustrating, unanswerable questions and forcing us to answer them, I believe. Is that right?
We all have to answer, yeah, and including we need the help from our studio audience as well, because we need to settle these things.
Yeah, because luckily we're doing this in front of a live audience on Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to have some genius help out there. I've already gotten some audience response, some people that think that they're going to be able to really contribute because of their particular set of life experiences. So we'll see.
They better.
But first. All right, we got some breaking news. Nathan, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So I've been going through at least 9 boxes of belongings that I left at my parents' house 20 plus years ago.
I love that. It's like shopping. Go ahead, yeah.
So there's been a lot of figuring out what to throw away, figuring out what to keep, then just getting lost reading old stuff, going through old pictures, things like that, which has been really enjoyable for the most part. But I really stumbled across just a piece of gold.
What's that?
And I really am just really excited to share it with you all. So it's in my pocket here. This is, if anyone has ever doubted my appreciation of Steven Seagal, you can put that at rest, because I am an official Worldwide Martial Arts Steven Seagal fan club member, number 1041. So let me just give that a little zoom up there for you.
Wow.
This card that's signed. I think it's Steven Seagal.
Oh,
It looks like a signature. Yeah, for sure this was signed by him and not just printed out.
you might be in the running for next week's Gold Star, but yeah.
At the end or on the back, it says, this card entitles you to a 10% discount on any item in the Steven Seagal martial arts product line. To place
Well, like what?
I don't know. But to place your order, you call the Worldwide Martial Arts at an 800 number. Unless you're in Massachusetts, you have to call a 617 number. So apparently Massachusetts at the time didn't honor 800 numbers.
Wait, will you call it right now?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Right.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But I also just have a real quick question. 1041. Does that mean I was the 1041st member? Or did they start at 1,000 and I was the 41st member?
Usually they start at a number like 100 or 1,000, yeah.
I would say there's probably 1,000 fans of his.
Yeah, I would hope so. It seems
Maybe then.
It just seems too convenient, doesn't it? So am I calling this number? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. And then while you're calling, Erin, why don't you do your news?
Oh, well, I have news, and I have some imagery I'm going to pull up, but I just bought this car.
Oh my God, you're so rich.
It's a 2021 Subaru Crosstrek in plasma yellow, which I lovingly refer to as puke green, one of my favorite colors.
2021? Where did you go to get it? Or when did you go to get it?
Sure.
It must have been a week and a half ago now.
Wow.
I've never ever bought a car before, new or used. I've leased 2 cars, so this is a very new thing for me.
You're so rich.
Very exciting. And it's like, well, I'm gonna have a car payment either way. I'm gonna have one for a few years longer than if it were a used car, but I'm hoping that it's an investment that will last me a lot longer. And it's so pretty.
That's nice. And does it have all the stuff in it you need?
It does. It has. I got I didn't get the premium version that has all the bells and whistles, but I got a couple, like the blind spot detection and the back. What is it called? Backing up camera? Or?
Yeah, rear view camera or something.
Wait, does it have Wi-Fi?
No. Do cars have Wi-Fi now?
Hello. In our world, not in your imaginary world of Pennsylvania or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but in America we do.
Wow, I think that would be a driving hazard, but no, actually, when we were in Iceland, our rental car had Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's right.
That's the first time I thought
So
that was just an Icelandic thing.
it's another way to have a subscription service that you have to pay for monthly.
Yeah.
See?
Nice though, because it was it helped us since we didn't have a plan when we were in Iceland. We could navigate with just their Wi-Fi. But anyway, that is my news for the week. David, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm never gonna do this again, but I have to do it now because the erection is coming up, and so I've had it.
What's
okay? The erection, the national erection. You know, there's presidential erection.
Who's going to be affected by this?
I don't know, but listen, I've had another talk with a Trump person.
How'd that go?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna roll it back. It takes a complete fool to fully trust Joe Biden, but it takes a special kind of stupidity to believe anything that Donald Trump says or does. Because I forget what he said and did this last week, but it was something really shitty. Oh, he doubled down on Russia and Putin and all that stuff. And there was something else that I quoted to a Trump supporter. And I said that he said this. And they go, oh, he didn't say that. And I go, yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
And they go, no, you're listening to news. And I go, no, I'm listening to his source. Like the videos he releases that he's proud of. I said, do you follow his Twitter? No. Do you see the videos that he releases? No. And I go, well, he said these things. No, he didn't. And I go, what are you talking about? Oh, you don't know who edited those videos? I said, Trump supporter.
Really seen the work.
These are the videos he's releasing that he is proud of. Oh, no, you can't believe, you're so dumb. You're so gullible, David.
Yeah.
Anyone who supports Trump, this is what I know. Anyone who supports Trump is anti-abortion or anti-homo. That's their only thing. They don't care about anything. They don't want to see anything else. They don't care. They don't care how we live our lives. They don't care that anyone else wants to live differently. They don't care. And I have 2 proclamations. If anyone is an enthusiastic Republican or an enthusiastic Democrat after this election, I have no respect for you. You have the world you deserve. You're a piece of garbage. You're full of shit. Okay, the Republicans are up here with bullshit. The Democrats are down here, but they're still fucking us over. And even if Biden gets in, some better things will happen, but he will still have his hand in our pockets and he will still fuck us over. Fuck you.
I mean,
what?
It's really hard to compare the two, but I agree.
No, that's what I said. The Republicans are up here, but the Democrats are still fucking us over. The Democrats are still taking our money. The Democrats are still the Democrats are still fracking. The Democrats were the ones who started putting kids in cages at the border. Like, fuck you. Go ahead, what? Sorry.
Stimulus for the economy, David.
No, totally. But they're still doing other things that aren't in our best interest. They still don't care about us. What?
It just doesn't matter right now because you know it just can't be Trump.
But that's what I said after this erection.
After the erection, we can hate on the Democrats and we can hate on Joe Biden.
If you stick to those parties, you can suck a giant, giant dick. So I mean, that might be what you want to do.
For the next 14 days, Joe Biden is. I'll bring out my fucking pom poms for him.
Well,
All right.
to say that Erin and I participated in the Great Erection, so
We did. We voted already.
yeah, everyone else should go out there and participate in the Great Erection, as David is.
You move forward. You're making me look really small now.
My ballot hasn't showed up, so Trump might be right. There might be voter fraud. But CV Actor Traveler said, yes, David, encourage people to vote. I encourage people to vote. And I do. I've never endorsed anyone before, but I can't take any more time with Donald Trump. So you must vote him out. And I want Jill Biden in office because she is awesome and she is going to save our educational system.
It's funny that you talk about people just not trusting the whole voting system, that they put a polling mailbox in front of the job that I have. And every time someone goes to drop off a ballot, they like inspect all the seams and look at it. And, you know, they just don't know if it's a real ballot box or not, or I don't know what the deal is, but it's so funny to watch people's reaction to it.
Well, a ballot box in Los Angeles County got set on fire. Someone torched it in the last few days. So
I didn't know that.
Yep. Okay, guys, I'm ready to call
now you're in my
the
light.
worldwide Steven Seagal martial arts product line. Should we give it a shot?
He's calling. Okay, everybody cool it. He's calling. Go.
I want everyone to hear.
Put it up to your microphone.
Well, I want them to hear as well.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Oh.
We have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not, 2.
You don't know which number I pushed.
With our survey.
Oh, that was it. I got hung up on.
That was Nathan.
I asked if I was over 50 or not.
Well, all of his fans aren't they now?
No.
Oh, boy.
I guess I could call the Massachusetts number, but I'm in the wrong state to use this phone number.
I think maybe we can move forward. I
Fine.
do want to reiterate that it's important that everyone vote, right? Vote.
Yeah, vote and stuff.
It's the only way stuff happens. And this week's Gold Star goes to the United Steelworkers Union. It's an all-female union. Did you see that they lit up Trump Tower this morning?
Yeah, what does it say? What did they light it up with?
David, this was your nominee.
On the Trump Tower in Chicago, they in big letters, so you could see it all over the city. It says Biden-Harris 2020, which I think is very punk rock and very funny. That always cracks me up. I don't know why they didn't do it on all of the Trump Towers.
I don't know. That's a good one, though. That's where he lives. Well, lived.
But it's the female electronic something union, so that you know there's some lesbians in there. You know there's some lesbians that got our back. Am I right?
I say thank you to them.
Yeah, thank you to lesbians.
One of Trump came out, I think, yesterday and said that if Biden gets elected, he's going to cancel Christmas this year, even though he won't technically be president yet. I got a big kick out of that.
Wait, Biden would cancel Christmas or Trump would cancel Christmas?
No, Biden would cancel it if he gets elected, even though he's not actually president until the 20th of January.
Wait a minute. And people, you know what kills me is people believe him and they don't think it through. Like, what's he going to do to cancel? Like, where do you go to what button do you push to cancel Christmas exactly?
I got my Christmas tree tomorrow, so.
Yeah, you better, because we don't know what's going to happen after the risk.
That's a crack. That's actually, we should have given him the gold star. That's a pretty great statement.
It was between that. Yeah. That might be, that was my favorite one of the week, at least. Moving forward. David, I know you put together a list of the most frustratingly, unanswerably life-related questions. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Unanswerable mind-blowing questions. Stupid.
Yes, it's questions that we all must answer. We're going to need everybody tuning in to help us answer these questions because we have to solve this tonight.
Okay.
It's very important.
Solve everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone.
Should we put the time limit? Like we have 2 minutes to solve a question, then we just move on and leave it mystery of the world.
Yeah. We're going to go with the hardest one first. And then work back from there. This one's kind of a one that's kind of dumb to even ask because it's like, you'll see when I ask it. Should I ask it or do you guys, all right, are you ready?
Is this the first one?
All right. Yeah, and Joe, I know that Joe's on, so we have a smart person that we need to help answer our questions. Okay, the first question is, when did time begin?
So we got a question from the audience wondering what's going on. He might not have been paying attention to our introduction. We have a list of some mind-blowing life questions that are considered unanswerable. We're going to try to answer them. That's for our audience member, Tom. Okay, when did time begin? Is that the first one?
Yeah, and then we'll get back to you in a minute, Tom. Hold on. Yeah, when did time begin?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Well, I guess time is technically a human creation. So whenever, I don't know who invented the counting of time. Probably some early civilization that tracked the stars and made calendars like the Incans or Mayans or Egyptians. So maybe they invented time, even though the passage of time can't really have been invented.
Okay. I know the answer, but go ahead, Nathan. No, I mean, I know it because it's in my head. There are no answers for these anywhere, but go ahead, Nathan.
So there's a few things I'd touch on. One, my first impulse was just to say the Big Bang. So when the Big Bang happened, time began because that's when the universe started. But there was recently an article of scientists who were speculating as to whether that's just the Big Bang was just the beginning of many universes in a row. I like your idea of like, as soon as someone was able to construct a passage of time, but time also feels like a universal to me in that there is always a passage of time, like it's always moving forward. But if you take an atomic clock on the Earth's surface and then put one way up in the atmosphere, they measure time at a different speed. So if you're like to drop an atomic clock into a black hole, 5 seconds is like 5 years somewhere else, for example. So what is time? Is it just straight up relative?
Are you saying that there wasn't time then before the Big Bang?
Well, was there anything before the Big Bang? That's the big.
It has to have been.
Well, I don't know. David, go ahead.
Okay, the school of scientific thought right now is that there wasn't a Big Bang as people think. It probably, the possibility was it was like the convergence of two membranes, the membranes of two universes, which collided or came together and then created the one that we know now. So there was probably stuff before, and like when it collided, then everything came out from there. And time just measures the passage or the changing of anything. So there's always been time, but it's the measurement. Erin, you're talking about the measurement of time. That's probably when the measurement of time happened when someone was able to perceive it.
Right, exactly.
Oh, Joe Denotro giving shout out to Nathan for coming at us with theoretical astrophysicist, bitch.
Oh, isn't there also the theory that is it considered like a fourth dimension basically, and also that
yes,
there's the idea that everything exists all at once. So time, we're only seeing time through our perception of reality, as opposed to everything just kind of existing at once. So I don't know what to say about that.
So
for sure.
Tom's first question, I think it was, what do you take away from 6 to get 9? I think that would be what, a negative 15 or something.
There is no way to know.
And then yes, Nathan is wearing a moose riding a bicycle on his shirt.
That's right.
That sounds nice. I'm gonna go straight. I wanted Joe Denotro to weigh in on time, but okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Number 2. This is Nathan. Okay, we asked this question on a previous podcast, and it got to a point where Erin physically threatened Nathan. So I'm going to ask it. Okay, it's like a 4-part question. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Everybody listen. Do we have free will, or is everything predestined? What is freedom, and does it really exist? To what degree have you been able to control the course of your life? Do you ever really do anything of your own conscious choice, or are we always controlled by some exterior stimulation or motive?
All remember this podcast.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post it so we all can refer back to it.
I feel the rage already boiling up in me.
Nathan, why don't you answer that one?
We have complete free will, 100%.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I'm running late on the comments. Joe just gave a shout out to Erin for negative numbers. But yeah, Nathan, do we have free will and blah 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 and bullshit and all that?
And I said that because I was worried that Erin was going to punch me. So
No, I mean that we got that whole discussion was much longer and deeper than what we'll probably get into now. But we were talking about a specific person's philosophy, saying that we don't have free will, and there was definitely merit to that theory for sure. But I just never could fully get on board with we have no free will at all. I think some things are predestined, which is, where you were born, a lot of those the circumstances in which you were born, what you look like, who your parents are, what kind of economic status you fit into. That stuff determines a lot. Your external factors determine a lot. But I think at the end of the day, you're always able to make a choice. And you can argue also that that's going to have some kind of that choice isn't really your choice. It's really someone else's thoughts in your mind. But I still think that ability to make a choice is considered free will.
I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to say what I say about the whole fucking, and I'm going to put this to rest too, about the whole fucking capitalism versus socialism argument. It's half of one and 6 dozen of the other. It's the same thing here. Yes and yes. You need part of both. So fuck off. Yes, you have free will, but yes, some things are determined. Yes, yes, yes. And lesbians.
One thing is for sure that I think we'd all agree upon. Most people, if not all people, and I would say nearly all people, react very poorly if you try to tell them that they don't have free agency or free will. People don't like that.
So CB Actor Traveler brought up a comment here, hard to answer in the positive for African Americans.
100.
Yeah, I mean,
100.
that's definitely a very important piece of the puzzle to this question. That
where you are, who you are, where you lived. Yeah.
Everybody's experience of this is different too.
Yeah.
That the history of humanity, especially in this country, has a lot of determining factors.
Totally. I agree. All right. You guys ready for the next one?
Any of these or not?
I don't think we solved that at all. Let's move on.
Yeah, we did. Half of one, 6 dozen of the other, bitch.
The baker's dozen or something.
Yeah. So is there life after death, bitch?
I think this is an opinion question, David.
No, but is there or isn't there?
Let's not yell over each other.
Does your life continue in any form after you die? Is that the question? Because life does exist after you die, for sure. There's life after.
Does your consciousness continue in some way or another?
Your consciousness.
You. What makes up you?
Soul.
Because isn't there the whole argument that we're just all stardust, right?
We are stardust. What's that song? We are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What is it? That other song, The Circle of Life. So as soon as we die, our matter goes into the earth or the atmosphere and then is ingested and baked into potentially living things moving forward.
That's
so
not
is
your
that
consciousness.
Life? That's why I was clarifying.
That's your matter.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I think, this is where religion comes into play, right? This is where a lot of people.
Well, no, we're going to say fuck religion. We're going to answer it we're going to answer it.
Personally, I think there's no life after death. I know that's a very bleak way to look at the world. But for some reason, it doesn't really make me sad or nihilistic. I still have desire to live and enjoy life.
Many argue that not believing in an afterlife and believing that this is the only experience that we have enriches this experience, as opposed to making it depressing and nihilistic.
Well, wait, I'm going to be Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr. for a minute. What's your evidence?
My evidence?
Yeah.
I don't have any evidence. It's like I said, this is an opinion question. That's the first thing I said.
Well, we need evidence. It's funny because I used to be a.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
Just any potential answer to this question, there's no evidence.
True. That's what we have to deal with. Is there is no evidence, and it used to scare me that there wouldn't be life after death. Now I'm terrified that there might be life after death. I want it all to end. If I had the button to end everybody's existence, right then I would have pushed it. Right then I would have pushed it. Right then I would have pushed it.
Don't ever do that. That sounds terrible.
If there was evidence that my life stopped when I died, my consciousness ended, bam, like so fast you wouldn't even know it hit you.
I don't know what to say to that. Joe thanked us for solving the question. We solved it. Look at us.
We solved it. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, there is no evidence of life after death. And it's funny because when you're in a cult, you know, but when you're not in a cult, you don't know.
The place that I'm working now is considered to be haunted, which, you know, if you believe in haunting, you believe in ghosts, then you have to believe in some kind of afterlife, or at least some kind of in-between period after you die. Maybe then you
or some other dimension or something. Yeah,
that would still be some kind of afterlife then. And we have just people coming in night after night, just wanting to see ghosts and just wanting to have some kind of experience. So people are hungry for the belief that there is something that happens after they die. And I completely understand why. The idea of heaven is kind of scary, but beautiful. I used to be freaked out by heaven because I thought like my grandma was like watching me in my bedroom at night, and I didn't like that.
Watching you masturbate.
I was like 6, so I don't think I was doing that. But
Wait, have either of you seen a ghost or had an experience in that haunted house?
No.
I thought I did once, and then very, very quickly realized it was just an actor that I saw. So
no.
So the answer is no.
Okay. All right, let's move along. What are dreams?
It's your mind processing things that happened throughout the day or the week.
But is there any resolution? Because a lot of people say that, and a lot of people on the internet said that. But is there any resolution? Because my dreams are just a hodgepodge of nonsense. Like, is there any resolution at the end of it?
I think there isn't a resolution in the way that you want an answer for right now. The resolution is just like an integration of concepts and ideas. So it could be, for example, we've noticed that when we watch horror movies late at night or highly suspenseful films or very like violent movies, that those really mess with our brains and our dreams. So then we have very stressful, very hardcore dreams. And I think it's the brain wrestling with all those inputs. And if you think about our brains, what's so interesting is we look around and we think, well, this is the waking, living world where you're walking around. It's not the dream world. But in reality, what you see visually and what you're experiencing through your senses is all created in your brain based off of inputs coming in, whether it's light or pressure or temperature. So we're kind of dreaming this right now, even by creating it with our brains. So I think when you close down the visual input, your brain still has all the capabilities of making imagery, and that's what it's doing. It's just kind of contending with all of the experiences you had in that previous day or your previous life, because it has access to all that.
Yeah. I used to think, because a lot of people think it's just a hodgepodge. Your mind is just making all these images and stuff. But I don't think so. I think you have, like, your consciousness has to give dreams life. Because if you've ever tried to read anything in a dream, like you know what it says, but when you look at it, it doesn't, there's no, you know what I mean? The words aren't there. Or like when someone's talking or something like that, I think it has to be you giving life to those words. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I think it's just a hodgepodge of nonsense, but it's you. Go ahead, yeah?
Yeah, I think what you're pointing to is that you give your attention. And often in dreaming, it doesn't feel like you're giving your attention at all. It's like experiencing a movie. But there are those times where you feel like, I'm going to look and read this piece of paper. And it feels like that's almost like touching into lucid dreaming. And then you see that there's nothing on the paper, like the book is just blank. It's just
totally.
I think that of all of the questions you've asked so far, that probably has the most studies and science behind it.
Right.
Even though I don't think we don't really understand that much about the brain.
Yeah, there's still nothing conclusive about it. Let's just move along. Oh, go ahead, yeah.
I just feel like it's one of those things that we seem to all be able to agree upon in a way that we can't agree upon whether there's an afterlife or whether there's when time started, what started time. Just interesting.
Yeah. The next one is, what is the goal of humanity? And this is worded strangely, but go ahead, answer it. Go.
No goal.
Reproduction.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
Yeah, just to survive. Oh, that makes my flesh crawl.
I was interpreting that as the purpose of humanity, and I said nothing. But Nathan's actually right. Yeah, it's
the goal of all life is to survive, and it just makes my flesh crawl. It turns my stomach.
You could look at it like this. What is that saying? We're all just stardust, and we're the universe trying to understand itself.
We just got a comment from Joe about our last question. He said, I can never juggle in my dreams. I can't even do a 3-ball cascade. Weird.
Oh my God, you can't do a 3-ball cascade? I pulled off a 5-ball something.
What? Right.
Sorry, keep going. Keep going. Sorry, go.
Our audience might not know Joe. He was on our podcast in the spring. He's a professional juggler. So
excellent episode too. Should check it out.
Fantastic. That was one of our video episodes.
Yeah. Was it our first video?
Might be.
Might have been our first.
And he's a mathematician.
Yep. All right. The goal. Yeah, Nate or David, do you have another?
The goal of humanity is to survive. The goal of all life is to survive, but that just makes my flesh crawl. I think that we need to, God, but this erection is just showing us, or anything that a country tries to do is just showing us that humanity cannot come together under one banner. There is no goal of humanity. Humans are disgusting, and they run around, and they're human beings are like cockroaches on God's heavenly kitchen floor, fighting our lives.
The one thing I can say about humanity, I think since you said what's the goal of humanity, like what constitutes humanity, right? So we are animals, right? Which you could argue that, or organisms, right? We all are struggling for survival to propagate the species, whatever your species is, but we're humanity, humans. What are the characteristics of humans that set us apart from other animals that you could distill a goal for?
A goal?
Yeah, what does there's certainly an organizing principle that seems to be happening with humanity.
It easily could happen that human beings could look out for each other and support each other, but you will never see that happen in your lifetime. Never. They would take massive drugs and psychoshock therapy. What?
It's not true. It's just not. It's not what you see every day. But there is good in this world, and there are good people in this world.
No, there are, but the majority of people will not do that. There are some good people, but not even half the country. What?
It's just the loudest people are the ones that are getting the most attention, especially now. It's the people that are on Twitter that are saying all the stupid shit. Like, that's not the majority of our country. So we just have to keep that in mind. That
no, totally. But as a whole, I'm saying you can't. Because
everybody, no. But to say that a majority of humanity is terrible, I just I don't believe that. I think more than half of us are good.
Oh, good.
I would say that more than half will take someone to a hospital if they're dying. I think more than half are good. Yes. I didn't say, I'm just saying that, but even those good people will still fight you over things that will help your life, thinking that you can't have it because they don't want it in their life. You know what I mean? It's like the taxes for over $400,000. You guys have it convinced in your mind, we must tax people more over $400,000, but it's still the same thing. Like you have to attack other people. Like human beings are like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to save your life, but I'm going to take your shit.
David,
what? Go ahead. What?
One, I'm not convinced. And I also don't attack people for that.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying to get my money.
I am trying to get your money?
Yeah.
$400,000 a year?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
What I'm saying is that's just an example, but people, anyways, go ahead, Nathan. What?
I was just going to say, Mary's saying true about something, and my mother said something.
We have no idea. Yeah, wait, can we go back to this because it's adorable? Nancy said, I can never use my phone in my dreams.
like, is it, and I wonder if that's like an emergency situation or just like, oh, I just want to check my text messages and I can't check my text. Yeah.
I have a recurring dream. I'm in my 70s. I'm going to be 80 soon, and I still have a recurring dream that I was put back into high school. And then I have to go, like, David, get to class. And I have to go get my books. And I'm at my locker, and I can't see the dial, and I can't open my locker. So I hear you, Nancy. Like, I'm freaking out.
Well, I don't think we solved that one.
Which one? Goal of humanity? Well, nobody's helping us out. Joe didn't help us out. Nancy didn't help us out. Mary didn't help us out. CB Actor Traveler didn't help us out. What is the goal of humanity, people?
It's to reproduce. Nathan's right.
It is. It's yeah.
How about, let me think for a second. Is it enlightenment?
No.
Is it?
No, they don't care.
Is it saving all of the wretched souls from afterlife and hell?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Next.
There is no goal. There is no goal of humanity, but there should be. Okay. What makes you you?
Can I?
We have to remember that this is a podcast, so we have to read the questions. Not everybody can see them.
My mother, Nancy, says, yes, emergency. I can't call people to come help me.
I know. That must be frustrating. I'm so sorry, Nancy. All right, people of the internet, what makes you you? What makes a person a person?
Who do you want to answer first?
I know we're going back. We're gonna have to take a slow ride on this because Joe just wrote in, I don't like that answer, LOL. Not everyone wants to reproduce. No, it's not reproduce, it's survival.
It's not everybody has to reproduce, just the majority of people have to reproduce.
Yeah,
so.
Humanity at large.
Yeah.
Although I'm so sick of surviving, I'm this close to just sick of it. Done. Out.
Don't
do
that,
we need to have
David.
another intervention?
Oh, please. You guys, I'll just bring you, don't do it. I'll just bring you down with me.
All right.
So what makes you you?
I guess everyone's going to have a personal answer to this. Or is it what makes each individual unique? Is it more broad?
No, like what makes a person a person? Like what makes, like what, yeah, what is the consciousness or whatever? Like what?
Physical features, how you look, and your personality. And there's nature. There's nature versus
experiences.
There's nature versus nurture. So some of that stuff is going to be predetermined by your genetics and the way you were brought up. But not all of it. I'd say maybe that's 50-50. So it's.
Can I just chime in really fast? I hate that nature versus nurture because it's the same thing as we said before, capitalism and and socialism and free will and it's nature and nurture. They both shape. And what?
I just want to point out that
that's what I just said, David.
This is a fallacy because it's not either or, it's both, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm saying the same thing.
No, I know. Not you. I'm not arguing with you, but a lot of people know the homo issue. Like, is it nature versus nurture? Like, that's always a fight. Like, it has to be one or the other. And it's like, it can be both and all of the above. But what makes you, you? I don't know because what makes you have the distastes that you have or the likes that you have and don't likes? And what makes like your weird kinks and weird things, like what makes all that happen? It's so bizarre to me because you can be exposed to something you were never exposed to before and have a feeling about it already. And I don't know where that comes from.
So that genetics, right? Isn't there like in our DNA, we're kind of pre-programmed to like, I didn't choose to have 5 digits on one hand, but I do, right? So that was like predetermined by genetics, our DNA, and how much of our experience. This is kind of an interesting idea where they're exploring how much genes are turned on based on previous experiences. Like, so maybe a larger way of looking at this is like, how does trauma filter down through generations? If your great grandmother was like a heroin addict and like beat up the family and the family was like really terrible to each other, like how does that spill out over through time to different generations? And you can go positive on that as well.
Let's just shut it down for a minute. CB Actor Traveler asks, why do you guys let David be in charge of these segments? Why? What is wrong here?
Maybe
What is going on? What's happening?
have the answers.
What?
He's upset he doesn't have the answers.
Is that what's happening, CB Actor Traveler? You're upset you don't have the answers? Or is there something? Give us some positive feedback right now. We'll change what we're doing. I forgot what the question was.
Just piggybacking off of what Nathan said, I'm doing a lot of reading and research right now since I'm growing a human being. And there's lots of research that points to if a mother is pregnant in a really stressful, like war-torn environment where it's life or death every day, that's actually, that heightened anxiety is actually passed on to the fetus, and it's for survival. It's the goal of humanity is that when the baby's born, they're also going to have that survival, like on edge kind of feel, so that they like more effectively, just like the mom. So obviously, like I'm looking at that through a lot of the anxiety in the modern day society in the US in a first world country is like not life or death. It's just all kind of something they've created in our own minds that's not actually a real threat. So like how to keep that at bay so you don't make your child crazy. Okay, we got a comment here. I can't help you out. I can no longer even think about these overwhelming questions.
Wait, is this bothering everyone? Is that what's going on? All right, here, I'm going to go to a better one. Fuck that question.
All right.
What age should a person be considered old enough to die of old age?
What?
At what age should a person be considered old enough to die of old age?
327.
Because they'll go like someone's 65 and they're like, oh my God, he died so young. And it's like, no, gross. Uh-oh, wait. Sorry.
I don't think that, I kind of like that it's not up to us to decide that. It's kind of up to, the world, the universe.
No, it's up to me. No. You know how people say, oh my God, they died so young.
Like late 80s, 90s is like,
oh, wow. Ew, Erin.
That's when you hear people like, oh, they lived a good life. It was their time. Like 70s is now pretty young. 60s is definitely young. And I think as humanity progresses and we survive and reproduce more, that age is going to keep getting pushed up.
I say really old, like super old, like 35.
I am of advanced maternal age.
You're old lady. No, but I hate when someone's 65 and they're like, oh my God, they died so young. So young. It's like,
it is young.
I have an answer for this, David.
Kind of. Yeah, go ahead. What?
Based on actuary tables. So there's the median age of when most men and women die.
Uh-huh.
If you fall below that, I think that's when people say they died so young. And when you exceed that, although now we do have the outliers are becoming more common, so that keeps getting pushed back.
I like Joe's rewording of it, dying of natural causes. So I think super old, like 34, 35, dying of natural causes.
Man days when we didn't live past 30.
No, I think it's getting older and older because like in 50s, when I was a kid, 50s was very old. 50s, people were thinking about retiring and it was over for them. But people looked like shit. Like, watch old movies and TV shows. People looked like shit at 50. And now people are like being fit and stuff at 50 and even 60. And even, what's her name? RBG, still doing her push-ups and shit. But the one thing I just want to interject really fast. One thing I hate is when people are like, you shouldn't eat that anymore. You should do that because that like takes 5 years off your life. It's like, yeah, 5 years at the end of your life, the worst years of your life. You want to die. When you get into your 70s, ask if you gave pentothal solution to a person in their 70s, they'd be like, yes, I want to die every day. Every day, I wish I could peacefully just fade away.
Nope, that's not true.
That's wrong, but
no, it's 100%.
We have a 72.6 years average life expectancy. Thank you, CB Actor. Mary, this is very happy. I won't be able to sleep tonight. LOL. At least she laughed at the end.
Me neither.
Wait, well, help us out.
Well,
Mary and one.
David, you're giving a really bleak look on that. So.
All right, here's a light one. Here's a light one. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
How do you know you're not crazy and just hallucinating your whole life? Or is this a holographic universe?
You don't know. There's no way to know.
But how do you know, though?
There's no way to know.
But, oh, there is. But wait, there's no way to know?
No. You can't know.
Well, then that wasn't as light and wonderful as I thought it would be.
I don't think. You guys can weigh in.
So I think this question is kind of a non-starter because either way, the one thing you can agree on is that there's consciousness. There's the conscious experience of whatever this is. So whatever, hallucinating, and you're a brain in a like a jar. I was gonna say a jug, but a jug just has a really small opening, so you need a jar to get the brain into it. So if you're just a brain in a jar and you're experiencing all this, you're still experiencing it.
All right, here's actually kind of a nice one. Are you guys ready for this one?
Okay.
Are you ready? Get ready.
We're ready.
Are soulmates a real thing?
No. Next.
All right, I'm gonna fire through these ones. Are you guys ready? And if
I want to answer.
Yeah, you said no, and we have to go with your answer.
Oh, it's my call. I say no.
I don't believe soulmates. I think there are people that you could be compatible with, but I don't believe soulmates are a real thing because I've seen so many times when people are like, oh my God, they're soulmates. And then at 70, they're like, we hate each other. We're going to get divorced. Like, or, or whatever, like even like you'll meet them and they're like in their 30s and for 2 years, they seem amazing. And finally they're like, no, like she was disgusting. Like, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it'll just be like, okay, why does anything exist?
Huh?
All right, I'm going to go on the next one. Why do people have to die? Why do people have to die? Because there are some species on this planet that don't die.
Like what?
There's a shark that they're seeing now that is 400 years old. There's a tree that they think is like in the thousands and thousands of years old. And then there's the marsupials that just keeps growing and parts of it die off, but then parts of it don't.
There's a plant in Joshua Tree National Park in California where the plant just what's it do? It doesn't reproduce sexually, or it just clones itself basically. So technically it's like 30,000 years old.
Joe DeNotra says it's a non-falsifiable hypothesis. Can't make a determination one way or another. I don't know what he's talking about. So Joe, you're going to have to tell us. And then Nancy Edmondson says, yes, I think she's talking about are soulmates a thing? Are soulmates a real thing? I think is that what you're saying, Nancy? Because then if you're saying yes, we need to know why and how and your evidence and stuff. Oh, here's an interesting one that we all can answer.
Okay.
And this will show us the differences between all humans. Are you guys ready? The three of us are going to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
What shape is your field of vision?
What shape is it?
Yeah, what shape is your field of vision? What?
What does that even
mean?
Like,
look, and like, what's the shape that it takes?
It's generally an oval shape.
It's like the shape of your eyes, right?
No. Look in front of you. Okay, everything you see is your field of vision. What shape is that?
It's generally
an oval.
An
it's
oval
the shape of my eye.
For me, it's a big circle because I can see down and around. It's a big circle around me.
I think I can see further in these directions and these directions. So, and I was pointing left and right, and I can see.
Okay.
I think you get a little bit more play left and right just because of the way the eye socket.
That's what I'm saying. It's oval.
Okay, we're going back a couple. Nancy says, yes, soulmates, not romantic, but people in general we respond to. Well, Nancy, how do we find them and where are they? Am I shopping in the wrong places?
David, do you not consider us your soulmates?
I haven't.
Do you consider me your soulmate?
I I have a
Bitch,
question.
please. Yeah.
Does a soulmate have to be? Does your interaction with them have to be 100% positive 100% of the time?
No.
No, of course not. It just means someone. It just means you've partnered up in life, and your hearts connect, and you go forward together.
She's talking about not romantic partners, so lifelong friendships, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nancy says we die to make room for new ones coming. Nancy, all right, Nancy might be the new leader of our cult.
We haven't started it yet, but she's our leader. And
Mary Shelby says yes, Nancy. Joda Nutter says, how do you know we're not living in a holographic? Yeah, see, it's a non-falsifiable, which is kind of what you said, Nathan Von Edmondson. And then
there's no way to know.
There's no way.
I keep saying the same thing.
They're agreeing with each other. Okay.
Okay. This is another one that we can answer because I have an answer and I'm pissed and it's going to piss us all off. And everybody just sit tight. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Which armrest is yours in the movie theater? And why cannot they make a wide enough armrest for two people? It's not a fucking airplane.
It depends on where you're sitting and who's next to you.
I know the answer to this. Both of them belong to me.
Yeah, Nathan, right. He's the alpha.
It depends on who's next to you, because I would share with Nathan over a stranger.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if there are strangers on both sides of you? Then which one belongs to you?
I probably wouldn't use either of the armrests.
I would say it's whichever you put your drink in.
That's assuming you're at a movie theater, Nathan.
That's
It's not
not
always.
All they have to do is make it 4 inches wider. They have enough space. Like, it's like on an airplane, they need to pack us in like fucking animals. But in a movie theater, they can make them a little wide, like even that much wider. Fuck you, movie theaters. Fuck you.
Be touching somebody else's elbows, though?
I don't want to touch anyone. Who's Tim Minchin? Joda Notre says there is a great song about soulmates by Tim Minchin. If I Didn't Have You. Tim Minchin. I don't know who that is.
Tim Minchin wrote, he's a British composer, singer-songwriter. He did the musical for Matilda.
Oh.
And as my mom's pointing out here, he has our favorite Christmas song, which is White Wine in the Sun, or In the Sun, something like that. It's a Christmas song that's really beautiful that he did.
Oh.
About soulmates, I think it's potentially dangerous idea. If you think there's just one person out there for you, it feels like we were just watching The Vow, which is about the Nexium cult, and they're talking about limiting beliefs. If that feels like a limiting belief for me, not that that's a cult idea, soulmates, but there's only one person out there. What if you don't stumble across them, or what if you don't find them, or what if when you do find them, they're not who you thought they would be? You stay with them because you're your soulmate. I feel like I don't know, it could cause more problems than it's worth. I think more people that are suited than others for you, but yeah.
I agree. There's more than just one soulmate, and that is really. And even if you get in a marriage and you're like, "This is my only soulmate," like you can have a best friend who's your soulmate too, and it makes life richer for sure. I think that there are anti-soulmates too, but yeah. Anyway, Joda Notre says that I will really like Tim Minchin. Is there any evidence to that effect?
He's a staunch atheist.
Oh, but what about his music? Is it cute?
Yeah, it's really good.
You don't like cute music. You like crazy 80s punk rock music.
I like that. I like cute music. I like all different kinds of music. Who can you compare Tim Minchin to?
What's that? Should we?
He's highly intellectual, and yeah, he's very smart. So
hey, I'm really smart too.
Since we're butting up on an hour, shall we power through these last questions?
Do we just have to say that Nancy Edmondson says, no, not one soulmate. We can have more than one. We have a different definition. Yeah, we're saying you can have more than one soulmate. You can have a lot of soulmates.
Yeah, well, I think Nancy's often referring to soulmates that aren't necessarily romantic partners.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think when someone's like, I have one romantic soulmate in the world and I have to find them or else, that's when it can be a little tricky.
Well, Erin, how many soulmates do you have in your life?
I don't know. I don't really buy into the concept at all. I have a lot of wonderful people in my life.
Well, besides Nathan, who's your best friend?
One of my girlfriends.
Yeah, which one?
Why do I have to pick?
You don't have to.
Well, pick one. Pick one, because then I have a follow-up question.
A.
Jesse and Anna pop as the top 2.
One. You have to pick one.
No, I won't.
Just wait. Just for this exercise. Just for this.
Mary.
All right, then who's your second best friend?
My mom.
Who's your third best friend?
Nancy Edmondson.
Oh, little Nancy Edmondson. Hey, if Nancy Edmondson was your age, she'd be one of your best girlfriends, right?
She doesn't have to be my age.
No, but I'm saying if she wasn't your mother-in-law and she was just a chick you met, you'd be like, oh my God, she's cool, and you'd hang out with her, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on.
What was the point of that?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, she didn't.
Moving on, David.
She didn't play along. Okay, Nathan, this one's just for you. Where should they put the Bible in libraries? Fiction or nonfiction?
Ooh, historical. Hysterical.
Hysterical. But it's fiction, though, Erin. Nothing in there is evidentiary.
Stories pass on through time. I think it could be in the historical section.
Oh, is a historical, like, this is what they said, the historical literature section.
Yeah, that's it.
It is part of our history. It was like the most referenced book ever.
Totally. This is funny because there is an actual question to this, and as I was reading it, I knew, because as you guys know, I'm one of the world's leading scientists, right? But it's funny that obviously an educated person put this together, and Joe DiNotro, listen up, because you're going to weigh in on this. Someone wrote this that didn't know about science. This is the question. What happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force? Or you could say what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
Explosions? Nathan's just
anything you want to say, Nathan?
When time stops.
All right. First of all, yeah. Well, there is no such thing as an immovable object or an unstoppable force, because Erin is right. If there was enough velocity and there would be an explosion. If it was an immovable object or an unstoppable force, it wouldn't be in this universe, because that can't exist in our universe. Because if it hit and it exploded, one of those would not be true. It would either be not an immovable object or an unstoppable force. Does that make sense to you guys? Because if it was an immovable object, the force would hit it and it wouldn't go anywhere. So it's just
Can an unstoppable force be a soulmate?
Yes. So let me just finish this up so you guys can understand this. If you had the most powerful force in the world and the most solid object in the world, and they collided, there would be an explosion, much like the Big Bang. There'd be a huge explosion proportionate to the amount of force and mass. Right, Joe DiNotro?
There'd just be soulmates flying everywhere.
Yeah.
That's how soulmates got spread throughout the world.
Yeah, you might be able to start another universe. Wait, for some reason, we have an immovable object. Oh, there we go. Joe DiNotro sounds like a promo for WrestleMania. Oh, thank you, Joe DiNotro. And CB Actor Traveler says the Clintons. So wait, what is he answering to?
On the Clintons, please.
I know. What is that an answer to?
Okay.
Wait, what did Nathan say that was so insightful?
We have podcast listeners that can't see the screen.
All right, Joe DiNotro just said, ooh, profound. Good insight, Nathan. What was it, Nathan? What did you say that was so profound?
To me, saying that's how, when an immovable object smashes into an unstoppable force, or whatever the fuck it is, that's how soulmates were spread around the universe.
Oh, then how did they? And then and then you also listen. That's what you also solved the goal of humanity, because they're all spread throughout the universe, and then they have to come and find each other. So that's the goal of humanity, is for the soulmates to find each other.
Are we establishing the basis of our cult?
I think we've just proven that our soulmates are actually just one mind.
Yes, and that's why the Earth is the only place in the universe where there's life.
That you know of.
No, we just said just now, Erin. We just said it, so it's true. Okay, are you guys ready? Nathan, this one's for you. You're gonna be the last one to answer this.
All right, it's better be the last.
Because you are no. There's a couple more. Why is vanilla ice cream color white when vanilla itself is brown? Erin, I want you to answer first, and then Nathan's going to be the last word on it.
I don't know how they process the bean, so I don't know the answer.
What? You know the answer. You're the vanilla king, right, Nathan?
You have to answer first. I have to go last.
I think it's because chocolate was brown and then they couldn't differentiate. So they just made it vanilla white. I think that's probably what happened. And I think it's not flavored with like the meat of the vanilla. I think it's a vanilla extract that flavors it so they can make it whatever color they wanted.
I think it's the dairy.
And, and vanilla extract, yeah.
Just beaver butt juice.
Is that what it is?
I believe so, originally.
It's beaver butt juice? I didn't know that.
Not dairy. He's talking about vanilla extract.
No, I know. I didn't. I thought it was from a vanilla bean, but I didn't know it came from a beaver.
I think. Nathan,
Oh my God, we have people still wanting. Joe DeNotre says soulmates are unstoppable forces and immovable object. Nathan's observation, chef's kiss.
Aaron's observation.
I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand how that backs up Nathan's. And then what's a chef's kiss?
Oh, you're gonna get a chef's kiss.
What does that mean?
Okay, Mary Shelby, she confirmed with Nathan. Nathan was right. The reason why vanilla ice cream is white is because it's cream based. And
Yeah.
the extract doesn't have a color. Next.
So I said that. I said that too. Okay, the next question is, if everyone says that life is unfair, doesn't that mean that life actually is fair? And I have a rant about this. So you guys answer first, then I'm going to go off. Go.
I mean, life is just unfair. It's not going to treat everybody equally, and that's what unfair is, right?
Yeah.
In here?
I think the argument or where people get lost is the assumption that it should be fair.
Who's ever promised that?
I'm glad you asked that question.
All right.
Because parents, and if you guys do this, I hope that I am there to back your child up 100%. Because parents do this where they look at their child and they're like, all condescending with that face, go, who told you life was fair? You did, you fucking bitch. Because it's parents that teach your kids to share, and you have to be fair, and like we have to treat everyone fairly and justice and all this bullshit. You're teaching your kids how to be fair, and then when the kids say, wait, that's unfair, then the parents go, oh, who told you life was unfair? You did, you fucking cunts. You did. Parents reinstate that in their kids when they should teach the opposite. If they say, you know what, we're going to be fair with all the kids, but this isn't how life is. That's what you should be saying. Because we got hit and smacked for being unfair, for acting unfairly or being unjust.
How would you rather a parent deal with a kid that doesn't want to share then?
No, you teach them how to share, but you say this, we're going against the nature of the universe, teaching how to share.
4-year-old?
But then you don't turn around on the 4-year-old and go like, who told you life was fair? You did, you bitch!
But just being able to share and the world being fair, I feel like can be separated as two different.
No, but what I'm saying is you're constantly teaching your kids, like even within the household, how to be fair and justice and all that stuff. And it's not fair that you should have this and those kids shouldn't have everything. Oh, it is personal, CB Actor Traveler. It is 100%. Personal, bitch.
If you haven't noticed, part of the Unimaginary Frankcast is David getting shit off his chest.
Oh, yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, no, come on. But you guys had reasonable parents. What? What?
So, obviously, it's more nuanced, and that's the problem. You're trying to teach a 4-year-old nuance. But when people say life isn't fair, they're pointing to the randomness in life. And when they're talking about you need to treat your sister fairly, they're talking about not being a dick.
Totally. That's what I'm saying. So you tell your kids, yeah, you know what, life isn't fair. You don't look at them and then when they're upset and say, who told you life wasn't like, you don't throw it back at your kids when you're teaching them how to be fair. You say, yeah, you're right. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. We've tried to make a fair environment here, but this isn't natural, yo. This isn't natural, little Ava or little Cheyenne or little Savannah.
Maybe that's the goal of humanity, is to create fairness.
No, I think what the goal is to raise kids that you can yell at. That's what the goal of humanity is, bitch.
We've
yeah, it should be fair.
David Monster's parenting class, so we should be in good shape. Come
oh, girl.
So $79.95.
Just remember, before you get mad at your kids, just think, did I teach this child that behavior? Because 9 times out of 10, you probably did. You probably did. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? What?
Let's get through the final questions.
I just want a yes or no from you two.
No.
Okay, if life is so short, why do we do things that we don't like? Wait, why do we do things we don't like so much of the time? Wait, let me start over. Sorry, I'm so sorry. If life is so short, why do we do things that we don't like and like so many things that we don't do?
I don't know. I mean, I can answer the first one better than the second one. The second one is kind of a personal problem.
Answer them. Go, girl.
Yeah, I mean, so the first one, why do we do so many things we don't like? Survival. A lot of it's work, and you know how to get through the day. It's not always easy. It's not fair, like we just talked about. Why do you do things not do things that you like? That can be, like I said, that can be a personal issue, like you're just not motivated, or it could be a financial issue. You don't have enough money, you don't have enough time. There's lots of, it's just different for everybody. So I don't know.
Totally. Totally agree with you.
Anybody else?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Erin.
Cool.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I think it should be a wake-up call for all of us. We should be trying to do more things we like, or making the things that we have to do more enjoyable, right?
Yeah. Well,
should we?
There's also that,
I don't know.
If you believe in that you come at every crossroads in life at choice, then you're at choice as to whether or not you can find joy in even difficult situations, or find meaning, or find something. So
Totally. It's hard. I think that's life's hardest lesson, is to enjoy what you're doing, or to find time to do what you enjoy, or to even like make your life something that you want, make it something you want to live.
yeah.
I think it can be very, very difficult. And I actually, this week, I had a huge epiphany, because I have this mania, this neuroses about time. And if like I don't do things by a certain time, so I'm like, I just gotta enjoy. Like if I'm sitting in my car, because I have a nice car and I like have nice music and a podcast, I just need to enjoy that more and freak out less. And like just enjoy. Some days it's hard. I mean, you guys have to admit, some days it's fucking hard and you just want to kill everyone you see. But it is hard. Like you have to keep, that is the one thing I hate most about this life, is you have to keep working on it. But you do, like you just take a breath and you have to keep working on it. You have to keep imbuing it with happiness and stuff, David, which is so annoying.
David.
What?
You can't brush your teeth once and be done.
I know, it's so annoying. That's the worst. These lives were designed so poorly. Whoever designed these lives did a bad job, girl.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I want to know if our listeners have any questions or any answers they want to answer. Or was this even interesting at all?
I think it's fascinating and interesting and frustrating and mind-blowing. All the things that these questions are meant to produce.
It was mind-blowing, but Mary Shelby gave me a shout-out earlier for Parenting 101, Professor David Monster. I'm going to start teaching a class on how to raise. I'm going to be a cautionary tale. I'm going to tell you how not to raise your kids. Because my parents made every mistake in the book, bitch. Bitch. Bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
If we have no more questions from audience members, we can wrap this puppy up. Episode 254. Yeah?
Oh, hey, we have another. Wait, we have a comment. Hold on. Life is easy. It's living that's hard. Wait, we need to take a moment with that, Mary. Wait, I'm not totally sure what that means. Do you guys know what it means?
Read it again, David.
Life is easy. It's living. Oh, it's living it that is hard. I left out the it. It's living it that is hard. But how do you make it easy then? Wait. Life is easy. So if you just screw around, it's easy. No, I don't know. I don't get it.
Someone's mind is just blown.
That was an example of someone's mind being blown.
I understand what she's saying, but it is very difficult.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Podcast listeners, apologize if that gets chaotic when we're in the heat of the moment, but thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for all of our live guests out there. It's so much fun to have you here and commenting, and it really just makes our night. So thank you all.
Yeah, and Dojanotro said very fun show. Thank you, Dojanotro.
And if there's any people out there that are listening for the first time, you can find us at Unimaginary Friend on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We do live stream like this every 2 weeks, and we, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we will respond back, have some engaging dialogue. So always feel free to reach out if you have any comments, any suggestions for topics. We are always open. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, CB Actor Traveler. Thank you, Mary Shelby, and thank you, Nancy Mona Edmondson Jr.
That's all I got. David, I think you
all right.
End our show every week.
Okay. Wait, it's gonna take me a minute because we have a little bit. Wait, hold on. Maybe this will help me while Erin is glowing. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that nice? Okay, I think what happens is I say,
There's a cat.
hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart. I think I don't know how. Should I just say it and then play it? Or do I say it and then spray it?
David, I'm going to leave this one up to you.
Listen.
You got to end the episode, okay?
let me get my neck going. Who told you life was fair, bitch?